Arturo Dark Knight. He's one of our best listeners.
Oh, UV.
Okay.
UV? Did you just say UV?
Why is there a chicken in my parking lot?
Hello, skewers! Welcome back to another RSG Wednesday night live stream, the longest running live stream in the Star Wars Galaxy Heroes community. I am your host with the most, Ranger J 1999. Also joining me, members of the crew, we've got the troll extraordinaire, Dr. Finn Medicine Woman.
Good evening, everybody.
Also joining us from somewhere in the traffic-laden area of LA, we've got none other than the sexy Buddha himself, the lightsaber builder extreme, Loki. Loki is so involved in traffic, he's not even talking. That's amazing.
Oh, I'm good.
Okay.
How are you?
Yes, there he is. Okay, he is alive and well and kicking for you guys out there wondering.
Excited to be here.
Yes, indeed. Also, we'll have Miss McVenom hopefully joining us soon. She was on her way home, you said, Finn?
Yeah, she has to finish up some stuff at work, and then she's going to be here. So.
Okay, so there we go. But yeah, so with that being said, welcome a day after our awesome, epic live stream for the Children's Hospital.
Healthcare.
Healthcare of Atlanta, but it was, what do you call the hospital? I mean, Children's...
It's Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. That's the name of the hospital. So CHOA.
So CHOA. So we'll just go with CHOA. So we had an awesome event yesterday. Thank you to all the skewers and supporters out there. We couldn't have done it without you. We blew our goal out of the water. We still have a long ways to go. We'll talk about that here in a second. But glad to have you guys here. In fact, let's knock out the housekeeping stuff. First of all, dealing with CHOA. The Tiltify campaign is still up. If you would like to donate, we will be adding some more challenges. Finn will talk about that here in a minute or so. But if you'd like to donate, go to the Tiltify page and help. I think we're at 3746 when I last looked. We still have to get to 17,500. That is the goal we have set, which we need to reach by sooner than later. So if you'd like to donate to that, please do. Everything else, make sure you hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. All of it matters. If you'd like to donate and make a super chat donation because you want to support the channel itself so you can see the great content and things that we're doing in here at RSG, you can do a super chat. It fills Vader's Cup of Plenty. We have lots of cool stuff that falls from the sky, like Bootfield Baby Rangers and Porgs, and then Pickles will come out at $20 and 1 cent more donation. We will all whip out our pickles and we will get the pickle party going. And everybody loves... Finn, we did put some pickles in our mouth the other day, and we'll talk about that as well. Mm-hmm. So there's that. If you'd like to become a Patreon and support us in that endeavor, please do. We love our Patreon supporters. So if you'd like to become a Patreon sponsor and support the channel that way, you can. Same thing with Twitch. You can sub on Twitch and donate bits. I mean, we've got a PayPal set up. We got all kinds of ways you can support the channel. So if the content and the things that we are doing matter and you want to keep us on air and keep us going, then that's the way to do it. And if you want to give to the donation itself, there's CHOA. So there's all the necessities knocked out, Finn. Man, did we have an awesome stream yesterday, Finn.
We did. And I think we should start out by thanking
Yes, go ahead, Finn.
all the people.
I did my big spiel at lunch. I'm going to let this be your time.
Okay. So if you want to put the screen up, let's go ahead and thank all of the people that came out yesterday, and in particular, those that donated. So I'm going to try and shout these out a little bit here. So bear with me, because I know it's not necessarily exactly synced with the the stream because I'm reading it off of my list, but Ranger has it scrolling up there. So all the people you see there were able to donate during the stream, and we greatly appreciate it. And then we'll tell you guys a little bit of some of the stuff that was happening behind the scenes and after the stream and all of that.
Maz isn't messing around. She says, yes, talk about the pickles and be descriptive.
I will.
Okay.
Don't worry.
I will.
We will get to the pickles. So first off, let's thank everyone, Slash Fan Rose, Maz Kanada, Demaroth, Ginger Snap, Emperor Gubatine, Yuta, CBO 97, EXO, Urza's Pet Sarlacc. Thank you for Urza's Pet Sarlacc coming and helping to represent the hall. The hall came out yesterday. Really, really happy to see all of you guys there. Rose Taco, just awesome guy in general, just Rose Taco. Walter Arnold, B. Masu, Dexatronic, Tim Van Ness, Guzza Knows Best, Chayla, Rooster, Posy, Riverboy 12, Brandon Kotu, Guzza Buzza, Mad Wind, Commander Skywalker, T Money G, Big Country Mags, Dr. Feelgood, Shadowval, The Escape Pod, Cast, Revenator, Vague, Minato Namikaze, Makwa, Urs, Good Old Maurice, Darth Rada 72, Ziglet, Who, question mark, Guzza Knows Ranger Loves Porgs, Doc Ravage, Corin Jax, Ouchie Dumpling, Matt Bailey, aka Trent Elysian, Luke Thyrocker, Johnny Mercury, Frederick Nielsen, aka Wind Ranger, Ray Rock, Silverbolt, What Else 73, Kobe Wan, Ururungus, Master KT, Strum, Spiderface, Snake Plissken, Strange, Buzzsaw VG, Kanono Banaga, Kanoo Banaga. Hope I said that right. Zem 420, Cowboy Suck, Barrel, Hogzilla, Dan the Man.
Name, please.
Dan the Man. Lunabat, another Gamers vs. Cancer live streamer. She's on Twitch.
Yes.
So shout out to Lunabat. Sith Lord Stew, Sanely Red, DSP, and Unimaksu. Now, let me go ahead and talk about Unimaksu and we'll get into the event here. So Unimaksu, if you guys don't know, is the father of Wesson. So if you want to show the picture, Ranger, we have a picture that the ACS took kind of when we were in there. Wesson is the one in the cape sword fighting Ranger in the Darth Revan outfit. Wesson was a hoot. He was running around with the lightsaber. He had so much fun with the lightsaber, and he had fun just fighting with Ranger the entire time. So those three kids that you see right there were just awesome. That was Wesson, who's sword fighting.
And let me tell you about Wesson. He's a Sith. He's a Sith. Yeah. So I let him finally kill me yesterday. So I put on my arm. He cut off my arm, and then let him stab me. And I'm like, oh.
Ranger was down, and he still
he
whacked at him.
He wanted to make sure that little kid came over and whacked the heck out of me. I mean, just whack, and everyone was laughing. It didn't hurt me or anything, but it's just the fact he was like, he was making sure that I was down. He was strong.
His mom was just kind of like watching. It's like, oh no.
And I'm sitting there just laughing. You hear me giggling through the mask and stuff. So it was so funny, man.
And that's with his little Ninja Turtle cape. So that's Wesson in the front there. You can't see his face because we'll have some more pictures and stuff. But this was the picture that had all three of them. You see in the orange there, that's Ethan, and then in the back there in the red or in the back is Austin.
That's my man Austin.
And so actually, if you want to switch to our camera, Ranger, I'm going to show you guys Porg McFadden. So if you guys watch the stream, this is kind of an after the stream kind of thing that happened. So Porg McFadden was there, and we gave away one of the porgs, and Austin had won the porg that we took. And that was the one that was in plastic and all new. It was Porg McFadden's best friend. And so he was won by Austin. But of course, if I take Porg McFadden is adorable. As much as Ranger hates him, Porg McFadden is adorable. And so I figured somebody was probably going to want him, and then I would probably give him away. And I was okay with that. And so I had given Porg McFadden to Ethan. So this is how much of a boss Austin is. McVenom on the stream, because we had the speakers playing at the time, talked about how much, like, if anyone knew how much Porg McFadden meant to Finn and all these kind of things. Like, and I think Austin heard that. He traded his new Porg to Ethan and then gave me back Porg McFadden. That's how much of a boss Austin is. So we can't say enough about these kids. I mean, we do this stuff and we have fun, and we had a blast yesterday.
Yeah.
But these kids are going through actual struggles and everything now. And I mean, we complain, and we're going to continue to complain about the game and different decisions and all that kind of stuff that made, right? But it puts it into context that this is all still in fun. It's not like we take any of the anger or anything really seriously, because when you put it in comparison to what these kids are facing and just their positive outlook, like if you watch them during the stream, I don't know, I'm sure Ranger, you feel the same way. Despite everything going on in their lives, there was almost like nothing but positivity coming out of these kids.
Yeah, they were just kids wanting to have fun, and they were having a blast playing Battlefront and blowing me to smithereens, and and it was great. I mean, Austin was amazing. He's just like,
Ethan was interacting with the chat. I mean, we showed him the chat. If you guys go back, you can watch it. I told him to say hi to the camera. He's like, "Hi, everyone." And I was like, "Oh, all these people are saying hi. Come look." And he came and started reading the chat. He's like, "Hi, Ethan. Hi. So many highs." I was like, Ethan is just so awesome. I mean, all these kids were just awesome. And their positivity through everything that is going on was just refreshing. And it was just great. And then, of course, what I just mentioned, the legend of Austin and Porg McFadden here. Mm-hmm. I mean, Porg McFadden already, you guys know. He's my co-pilot. He's my deputy. He's all just a fun Porg to have around, right? But there's a story now behind him that I will never forget. And it just shows you how much these kids are just, I mean, they're growing up much quicker than they have to, given their circumstance. And there's still so much in positivity. It was awesome.
Yeah, we found out Austin likes to stream.
Yep. And so Austin likes to stream. So if you guys can, and I'm going to put the link here, I'm going to bring it up again. If you guys can, he likes to stream, especially Apex.
Yep.
Oh God, I don't know if I mentioned this to you, Ranger. I don't know if it got actually caught on stream, because we turned down the volume a little bit so we can talk with the people that were on the stream from the ACS, like Jessica, Jenna, and Heather. So they were on the stream. So big shout out to them as well. For joining us and talking about determination and the ACS and all of that. But so in the chat, I put the link to Austin's Twitch channel. So go there and follow him if you guys can. I reached out to him. Hopefully we can have some collaborative streams and stuff together with Apex and all of that. But something you guys may have missed, and I'm telling you, Austin is just a boss all together. So I told him that I sucked at Apex. Like, I played Apex. I don't really have any particular character. Most of the time I'll end up just going on random, because I was learning them. Those kind of style games, usually not my forte in general. But it was fun when I played it, but I'm not super serious into it. Well, I was like, well, we can stream together. Stu also plays Apex, and we can play together. You know what his response was? It's like, "Don't worry, I can carry you." I'm like, dude is a boss. I'm like, he is just freaking awesome. I mean, seriously, without hesitation, it's like, "Don't worry, we can play together and I'll carry you." It's like, okay.
They were all carry Finn.
That's true. So it was just awesome. So I'm hoping that we can do some streams and stuff together with Austin. And hopefully we can keep in touch with all of them. We did reach out to the PR representative that was with us with CHOA. And we'll kind of tell you guys a little bit more about stuff that was happening in there as we break it through. We'll get to some Galaxy of Heroes here, and then we'll come back to it and we'll kind of mix it in here. But the representative from CHOA is helping us. So with that in mind, the shout out word of the day today is CHOA. CHOA. And keep that acronym close to you guys, because CHOA stands for Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. And that's where we were for this event. You guys helped us make it a huge success, and we're hoping that we can possibly do it again. So type CHOA in the chat. We'll give you guys a shout out, but also don't forget Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. Great hospital, great setup. They were just nothing but kind to us. They really tried to accommodate us, and we'll tell you guys more of kind of the stuff that was going on in the past few months as we tried to get this set up. But that's your shout out word of the day. Once again, it's CHOA, CHOA. It's for the Children's Healthcare of Atlanta.
There you go. All right. And then we have a Twitter question of the day related to this as well, right, Finn?
We do. So the Twitter question of the day. So if you go onto our Twitter page, the handle is Reality Skewed Gamers with no vowels in the Skewed and Gamers. So it's Reality SKWD GMRS. And the question is, what was your favorite moment from the RSG charity stream yesterday?
There you go. All right.
Simple enough.
Simple, elegant, to the point. And then we'll have hopefully someone read it here in a little bit. Maybe McVenom or Grande will pop in and we'll do that. If not, I'll read the names. So we'll make sure to do all the shout outs for that.
Do you want to do the patron shout outs first, and then we'll talk about some Galaxy of Heroes?
Do I have Discord up? I do have this Discord up. Okay, let me get this over here. Mark that. Okay.
So we have the Patreon, the YouTube, and the Twitch subscribers.
All right, let's talk about who we got. We got our Patreon shouts. We got a Loot 12, the Spam Lover Bimatsu, CBO 97, Chaos 13, my service member brothers, Chopper BZ, Clone Troop 211, Commander Skywalker, Contingent 33, Dangerfield, Darth Eflon, Bob, Darth Vader Mate, DPK, Devil's Treasure, Dr. Feelgood, he's the one that makes you feel alright, Drewman 95, Airrock 123, Guys a Buzz of my man, Hogzilla, Highnessy from the Australian New Zealand Guild, Ipoots Bomb, the lovely Jacobium, Jai Jack Kana, Johnson Awakens, Just a Bum, Callison, Kashmir, our another service member and friend and fellow that we've met before, Matthew Thomas, the lovely Maz Kanata, Minatu Namikaze, Moss Mike, Andy Fox, the lovely Ouching Dumpling, Ray Rock, Rydia, Riverboy 12, the best human being on the planet, Rose Taco, Revenator, we get Mr. Gingivitis, Saintly Red, my H9 brother Shadowvale, Sith Lord, Slash Friend Rose, Spaceman Tim, Spider, Strum, Suicide Squad, Teals, Tallywhack, The Tour, Walter Arnold, and Wendy Skywalker 1971. We have our YouTube subscribers as well, Bad Rongo, Bimatsu, Clone Trooper 211, Contingent 33, DT Devil's Treasure, Dexatronic, Dr. Feelgood, FCME 1 through 9, I'm the Dad, Jacob Baxter, Jason Hommel, John Moran, Miles Kanata, Revenator, Saintly Red, Sean G, LHT, Reptiles, Sean Ragnar, The Red Kelly, Slash Friend Rose, Swaga Gretchen, I love that name, for some reason, Teals, T Money, Charles Revan, Vigilant Sentinel, Wen Griffey Jr., Whittle 73, and then we have our Twitch subscribers. We want to shout out BCM, the Viking themselves, Blackbeard Pepe, Corinth _Battlespire, that's Corinth, Donko Wiskin, Doc Ravish, Dr. Feelgood, Dragon Z Wallbanger, let's see, I'm not mentioning Infinity because he's a tool bag, GGL Ghost Rider 76, Hogzilla, JC Dave 2, Callison Rook, it's Callison, Maz Kanata, the lovely Maz Kanata, and Ouchie both show up here. Saying the Red, Slash Friend Rhodes, and Teals the Smurf, which is just, of course, Teals. Thank you guys for all your support on all these channels. So there you go, Finn.
All right, and yeah, Rooster, I know we're asking it in Twitter for the best moments, but I have in Twitter, but I have to read it. Rooster wrote, my favorite moment was when Finn gave away Pork McFadden. The fact that Austin organized the reunion is beyond a boss move. Yeah, it is. And I'll be honest, just thinking about it, the fact that Austin is going through all of that, and he actually gave me back Pork McFadden actually makes me kind of tear up a little bit. Because it was, and it's not necessarily Pork McFadden, it's the sentiment that they showed. It's just with everything that they're going
kids
through.
Are great, man.
They were. All right. So let's talk about some Galaxy of Heroes.
Yes.
So kind of a quiet week, but there was some news, right? But kind of a quiet week.
Not really.
So, yeah, kind of. So they did bring back the Galactic Pack, right? That's back in the stores now. The $8 pack where you get a bunch of gear. it's a good purchase if you're spending any kind of money. It's a really good pack. So if you guys are spending even a little bit, $8, lot of good gear, one of their best, if not the best pack that they put in the store. So consider getting it if you guys are spending and you guys want to find something good to spend with that money. There you go. That pack, one of the best purchases in the game. The other thing too is, it's the event calendar.
Yeah.
And the event calendar is actually really interesting. I don't know what you thought of it, Ranger. They put in basically
a lot
like
of stuff in the event calendar, man.
It is. They basically put in like all of the doubles of legendaries.
It's ridiculous. Let's go through this. So the character login for the month is Poggle the Lesser.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing to see there, really. There's nothing.
It's hard to tell what it's for, right? They're continuing with the
yeah.
Geo theme, but it could be something pointing more towards light side GeoTB. There's really, it's a very generic Geo thing, so there's not too much we can glean from that, but we already know light side GeoTB is coming.
All right, so let's get into, I'm not worried about the Omegas and all that other crap, right? What I am is the legendaries. There's a lot of legendaries and crap going on this month, Finn.
And they're all paired. It's all paired legendaries.
So the first one that's coming out is One Famous Wookiee Legendary on the 3rd, along with Flight of the Falcon.
Mm-hmm.
So Falcon's come back, which is good because I'll get my 7-star Falcon finally. Yay for Ranger.
So that's one pair.
The next one is Legends of the Old Republic Star Force Showdown. So we have
Jedi Knight Revan and Darth Malak.
Yes.
There's another pair.
Yes. Or is that Darth Revan and...
I think Legend of the Old Republic, I think, is Jedi Knight Revan.
Right.
I think Scourge of the Old Republic is
Star Republic. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. Then we get Pieces of Plans Legendary, and then Rey's Hero's Journey on the 24th as well. So
there we go. Another double.
Double for your trouble. Then we've got Heroic. Then we get the Daring Droid and Luke Skywalker's Hero's Journey.
And the other double. They basically gave us like every double.
And we've got 2 mythics
for every like journey-ish character.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Bam, 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 bam. So the only one that's not in here, they squeezed it somehow, was damn 3PO. God dang, man.
But he's not used for anything. Yeah. Right? Nothing is needed for him. Like all of these legendaries are linked to another legendary or journey in some way.
Yeah.
It's kind of a crazy month. Like this is what they used to do like at Christmas time, yes. Right? They used to just release everything and we just had it all. It feels like so this is what to me was the most intriguing part, because you know what comes around Christmas time?
Santa Claus.
Yeah. And
cookies.
And Star Wars related?
Toys.
Okay. And episode 9. So my initial feeling with this is that they're giving us all this stuff in October, which is nice. But part of me thinks that now it's going to change the timeline, because if you keep that 3 to 4 month period, right? If it's coming in October, we're not getting it in December unless they just decide to throw it all out the window and give it to us anyways, which they may. But if they don't, then effectively what this is telling us is that December is going to be a heavy episode 9 month.
Yeah.
We might be getting so much new content with episode 9 that these legendaries actually won't be able to come into our game in December, because effectively putting it again in October means we won't see them if they keep the cadence until January. So I'm actually kind of really intrigued by the fact that there is so much potential for episode 9 with what they're bringing. Now, the downside is that if they bring out that much, it might also feel like a whole new game by the time that it gets there. But I think episode 9 seems to be what this is all revolving around. Yeah. They basically said that with the relics and all of that. And now with the schedule for October, seems like episode 9, like they're really building up to something huge in episode 9. And I hope that they actually deliver on what it seems like they're trying to put out here.
Yeah. It's when I first saw this, I was like, God dang, man.
Mm-hmm.
How many goddamn legendary you gonna put on there? And let me tell you what, that's a lot. Woo-hoo. So, we also have, of course, Rebel Assault, Separatist Might, Pure Retaliation, Separatist Might.
Mm-hmm.
All we got the territory battle, so we know there's another one now, and then it'll come back on the 8th and the 22nd. Territory Wars 93, 94, 96 is on the 1st, the 4th, the 15th, and the 18th. Nothing there that's really shocking. We have a new Grand Arena that's coming up. Season starts on 10/2, and we'll have the first round starting on the 2nd.
So
The 9th.
let's talk about that actually for a second.
What, the new Grand Arena season?
No, yeah, and just Grand Arena in general. And I think Ranger, you're probably better to speak at it than I am, but just in general, right? So I actually won 2 of the Grand Arenas. In total, I went, there's 12 matches, right? I only lost 2, so I'd be 10-2.
I was 10-2 as well.
Right. So I went 10-2. I focus a lot more on defense, which doesn't allow me to really complete a lot of the feats and everything, right? So and I know that I'm playing for fun and testing things and trying to see what works on defense and what doesn't. You definitely want to go more offensive because it allows you to complete the feats and get higher in points, right? So I was definitely lower. I think I missed it by about 3,000 points or something like that. Again, I don't really do any of the feats. I focus on just playing the Grand Arena, and it got me into Erodium. So I'm fine. I was short of Kyber just by a little bit and 10-2. So no real big issue with any of that. But Ranger, you focus a lot more, and you got close, right?
Yeah, so I finished 10-2 overall. The one match I lost, I full cleared everything, right? The 2 matches I lost, one I could have been really douchey, and I wanted to have a good. The guy was really cool. His name started with the D. I can't remember. He was really cool, and I was like, let's just. I want a little bit more on offense. Let's just see how it goes. And he was really good. It was in the finals that I lost, and I didn't get the. So what it came down for me is that I didn't get the 1,000 for there, and I didn't get 1,000 for the other one, right? But they were all full clears, pretty much. I can't remember, but pretty much all full clears. I knocked out most of the feats, and I could still not reach Kyber. That's insanity, that I'm able to do that, but still need to reach Kyber. Yet lower tiers are getting Kyber like it's nothing. I was talking to BCM about this. He's like, yeah, I'm Division 5, and I was able to get Kyber, and I've lost more than you have. And I'm like, well, not that I really care. Mm-hmm. We use GAC as more of a learning tool to show the counters and stuff. Even when I win, I might lose, but at least you guys see the full clear, and you see the teams being used, and you see what's being used on defense. And I mix it up, and I show you guys what I'm doing. That's more about what I care about. GAC reaching Kyber is not that big a deal to me. But I mean, if you're going to go 10-2 and full clear everything and do all the feats, and you still can't get Kyber, I was 900 points away from Kyber. I'm just like, Jesus.
Yeah.
What do you have to do, man? I guess you got to be perfect.
And that's something I've actually seen a lot in the community. So this is why I was bringing it up. Is exactly to your point. It looked like getting Kyber in up to like Division 4 and below, maybe even Division 3 and below, was pretty easy in comparison to Division 2 and 1. And it's because largely of how the points and everything scale with what you need, right?
Yeah. So.
Because you can get pretty much the same points, but what you need in order to get to the levels is less at the lower levels.
Yeah, so if you think about it, you have 12 battles. To reach Kyber, you need 35,500. Total points you can, I think max is 1,900, like something, right? 1913 or 20, something like that, whatever it is. Plus 1,000 puts you at 2,900. That still leaves you short. If you win every battle, you're going to be right around there, just not a little short. That means you have to do some of the feats to get Kyber. That means you have to win full clear and get the points. If you full clear and lose, it's not the end of the world, because there are a lot of feats that you can do along the way that supplement some of that stuff, right? Like you can go, I think you can go 11-1 and still make it. But if you lose more than one, you're not making Kyber. It's just hard as hell. Even the only feats I didn't do were the last 2 feats, which was win a battle with Grievous and Fleet, which each were only 100, right? I did all the other ones. I did all the short man. I did all the other feats. And so it's just something, it's not that big a deal, guys. It's just something that I think they need to scale down a little bit, Division 1 and 2, just to make it. It's still not easy. I mean, if you make it 33,000, that's still really hard to do. You have to win a lot of your matches and do all the feats. But they just need to check the scoring a little bit because, good lord,
It's not scaling properly
No,
between
it really
the divisions.
isn't. I mean, 35,500. I mean, if you think about it, I mean, 1,900 something points plus 1,000 still leaves you short of 3,000. Because if you do 3,000 times 12, that's 36. So
I mean, Prometheus just typed in chat that he's in tier 5. He went 7 and 5 overall and still made it to Kyber.
Yeah,
I mean,
so,
that's what's happening right now, that they need to fix the scaling on these pretty quickly, because I think it's throwing off a lot of people from trying to get to that level, because Division 1 and Division 2 is so skewed right now.
Yeah.
And I think it's largely because you get so many points from the actual like combat and stuff, and as you get lower, the amount that you can get from the feats and the clears and everything goes down, and so it just, the percentages don't keep it even all the way through. So something hopefully they can look at, and I think that's not a huge thing, right? But it's something
tweak.
they can look at.
Little tweak. I mean, for me to win that many matches in the way I won and to do all the feats and still just fall short, it's kind of like, damn, Loki, how did you do? There's Loki, the lightsaber builder, looking all sexy and stuff. Look at that. How did you do?
You're on mute.
You're on mute, by the way, Loki. Still on mute.
Sorry, I am.
There he is. Loki, how'd you do, man?
What are we talking about? Grand Arena?
Grand Arena.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you paid attention and quit hitting on all those hot women, so.
Sorry. No, I didn't make Kyber. I'm in that stupid bracket that I'm the punching bag of everybody. So I don't know. I'm like 27,000, I think, in whatever, Erodium or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So it is.
So I think we all got Erodium then here.
Yeah. No. I understand the frustration with that whole. If you're like 700 points short or something like that from Kyber, it kind of sucks. I don't know what they can do to fix that. I got some guild mates where they were like 700 short and 400 short, and it's like there's no way you can make up for it. I think if you drop, like if you don't clear or if you don't get to the back walls, then that's basically your deficit, right? There has to
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, there has to be a way to make that up.
I mean,
and I think it's a we were talking about it. I don't know if you heard it, but I think it's largely the scaling also, because Division 3 and below were able to get to Kyber a lot easier than Division 2 and 1. Right. It's just not scaling the same. So,
and the Kyber rewards for no matter what division, it's always the same, right?
Yeah, like the cutoffs and everything they all kind of scale a little bit. That's the problem. Like the amount of points you need scale. And so it's scaled down for the lower division, so they're able to hit Kyber a little bit easier, even though we're all getting like the same points for the feats and battles.
But the rewards are the same, right? Like they get the same amount of Zetas and the same amount of materials and
I think
all that.
so.
I don't think so. I think they're scaled down also a little.
All right, okay.
You know what? Let me check right now, because I think you can still check. I'm going to check right now because I don't remember.
I think it's CG's way of, I guess, rewarding or getting the new players on board, right?
Yeah.
It's the only way to do it. So I get it. But there has to be a way to, I guess...
It just needs some tweaking,
Yeah.
There's still some stuff they need to tweak, is really... I mean, although the matchmaking seemed fine to me, the battles were fine, I'm not noticing anything that was suspicious or anything. I'm just speaking from my own perspective. It was a lot of fun. I enjoy Grand Arena. I just think it just needs a little tweaking, that's all.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think overall this was actually pretty good in terms of a GAC.
Yeah.
I think it was good.
It seemed more fair. Even the matchmaking seemed a little bit more on point. We had the middle of the relics and stuff, but still, it still seemed pretty balanced.
Relics change matchups so much, man. I was noticing that it's relics have a huge impact on GAC. It's going to be crazy how important it's going to be moving forward. Getting those like specific characters up in relics, that's going to be important.
Yeah, my matchmaking got better after I lost like the first couple of them. Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of wondering if I got to give up a couple of them to get matched up better. But
yeah, it is.
Well, halfway through was when relics kicked in, right?
No, the final round is where relics kicked in. The final 3 battles.
There's a final.
Oh, okay.
Round.
Yeah, so relics hadn't kicked in until the last group of matches. So the first 3 were Gear 13, but relics hadn't come in. Relics came in during the 3rd round of action, and then the 4th round is when they were on the board. So,
which are going to help matchmaking. I think we're going to see that now because those with relics are going to have a lot more GP because it's like 7,000 GP extra if you have a maxed out relic, and it kind of scales in between all the way up. I think relics are going to help kind of separate it so that those with relics are going to match up with higher GPs now. So hopefully that helps.
I didn't say this at the beginning. If you guys have questions, go ahead and get those in. Make sure you put question in front of your statement, and we will get those scooped up and read. So my apologies. I forgot about that. So, but yes, get those questions in and we'll get to them. So.
And make sure that you guys give us a thumbs up here and subscribe to the channel if you haven't.
How many thumbs up we got, fan?
We have 141 people watching and only 34 plus thumbs up.
Oh no, 1A.
We can break 50. I think we can.
Come on, we can do that. Come on, let's get to 50 at least. Jesus. But yeah, so all in all, GAC seems to be going pretty well. GOTB's coming along fine. My GOs are really kicking ass. I still hate that. I still hate the Poggle lead. I've got Gear 12, all GOs, and then Poggle's the lead, and I'm just like, all it takes is one grenade and you're dead. It's like, God dang it, man. How much more? Just Jesus.
Yeah, I know.
I can't stand that thing. I just do it just to do it.
No,
them in there.
I don't even use I use Brood Alpha in the special mission now. I don't even use it.
Yes, it's not even worth throwing that other mission.
Worth it. I mean, if you're in the luxury of a high GP guild where you just focus on the special mission,
yeah,
really don't need to gear up the geos anymore for that.
Oh, we just had a donation from the fourth Okage, $5. He says, I had a customer today that is a cancer survivor. I told her about you guys and your campaign with the ACS. He said to tell you guys to keep it up. We will keep it up. Thank you. Thank you for the $5, fourth Okage. Very much appreciated. All right, so we talked about GAC. We talked about
the calendar. I mean, that's pretty much it.
It's what's going on, man. It really is not a lot going on. There's a lot of rumors floating out there, Finn, about what could be coming down the pipeline. Do you want to talk about the rumors and stuff? I mean,
we're not going to go into the details of the rumors. I'm sure you guys have seen it. We're not stopping people from posting it in our Discord and everything, but we don't want to necessarily spread the rumors and that kind of stuff. But there's nothing terribly different than I think what we speculated to some extent with this. I'm not going to go into the details of what they put in there, but Lightside GOTB is coming up, right? They already told us that a Malik-like event is coming. And I think most of us are guessing that it has something to do with the new kind of Anakin. You see, the only thing that really makes sense to have a character at the level of Malik, I don't think any other character makes sense. Because people have said, like, Kiadi Mundi, he doesn't make sense to be a Malik type release in this game.
I think he's
Jar Jar
he's going to be the character you need for Lightside GOT.
I think he is too. I think he's going to be some kind of marquee or something like that, or he might be a reward like a Wat Tambor. You get Kiadi Mundi as like one of the special missions in the Lightside GOTB. I think we can see something like that, but I think we all thought it was going to be something Lightside Geo related, or like, so it could either be a new clone like a Pawns or something like that, but that also doesn't fit like the whole Malik thing. It really did fit Anakin more so than anything else. Unless they were going to introduce some new like awesome version of Mace Windu. That's the only other one I can kind of see in that. But we're thinking that it's going to be Anakin. We might get some other characters like Kiadi Mundi, maybe even like a Jar Jar. Hopefully we get a rework of Mace. We can get a rework of Kit Fisto. And then if we need Anakin, right, that's what the speculation post or that post that's going around is really talking about in terms of what you need. We don't really know what you need. It can be Galactic Republic. It could be Jedi. Just be ready at this point in order to get some of those characters up. We used to say this before when CLS came out. I don't know how many of you guys remember this, because now this is years ago. Do you remember what I did when CLS come out, Ranger? When they announced CLS, I listed every single character that Luke interacted with in order to figure out which characters to farm. I had Ewoks on that list. I had Jawas on that list. There was Old Ben, Princess Leia, Stormtrooper Han. I mean, every single character. Akbar was on that. Any character that Luke ended up interacting with from his time on Tatooine all the way up to when he became a Jedi, because I didn't know what new CLS we were going to get. I made a list of every single one and then tried to farm them in the order that I thought was most important and got them all to 7-star, and then slowly started to gear up the important ones and saved up gear. And it got me ready for CLS on the first go-around.
I mean, guys, just stay on target, man. Seriously. I'm staying on target. I mean, I don't know what they're going to throw or what they're going to do. I got Rex, 5s, Echo to 12. I haven't put any Zetas on. I'm saving my Zetas. I'm waiting to see if there's any announcements or anything like that. I've got 4 Zetas. I'm working on 5 saved up till just in case. But I am at least getting the characters to 12. So that's what all I'm working on is 12. You know, so that's kind of my focus, running out some of the last Separatists that I need to 12 and getting these characters, you know, on the GR team. I'm about to really go all in on Shock T. I've got her 6 stars on her way to 7. So I'm going to get her squared away. And that's really all you can do. I mean, if they do Jedi, I'll be okay, because a lot of my Jedi, some are gear 13, some are 12. The ones that really suck are lower gear, but I mean, even like Mace is gear 11. I could take him to 12, but I haven't done that yet. But I've got Grandmaster Yoda and Obi-Wan, and a lot of those guys are squared away. So for me, as a veteran player, I'm okay. You know, I don't know what the power requirement. If it's like a Malik event, then we know that it's going to be like one of those requirements where you need 17,500 power and they have to be 7 stars, right? That's going to be the requirement. Something along those lines. So for veteran players that have a lot of those characters damn near done, that's not going to be that hard. It's going to be the newer players or players that are mid-tier. They're going to be like, what the hell, man? So, yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, a lot of people are speculating because we all know something is going to drop very soon with regards to Lightside GOTB. We should be seeing it sometime this month. October is already kind of a loaded month with all the legendaries, so hopefully it's going to be a fun October for everyone.
Yeah,
in Galaxy of Heroes.
Yeah, and I've done some of the relics that I wanted to do. I'm doing fine where I'm at, so I've actually gone back to farming Kid Fisto. I'll finish him up, but then I really won't have any other Jedi to be working on. They'll all be 7 stars at least. So just to be a matter of gear for any characters that we need, but I'm not too worried about it. I know mid-tier and lower-tier players are going to be kind of scrambling because a lot of them don't have a lot of the characters like Mace or Lumi or any of these other Jedi done, because why would you? You know, why would you? You know, so just, you know, just keep rocking and rolling with yourselves, guys. That's all you can do. All right, anything else we want to talk about here, Finn?
No, I think that covers it. I think next week though, Ranger, we're gonna start up with the meta report again.
Why?
So the meta report has actually been somewhat interesting. So the Darth Revan percentage has gone down
to what, 82%?
It's about 75% right now.
Okay, because more people.
And that remaining 25% is actually kind of nicely evenly split. Actually, you got the 88 lead. There's a Padme team. Jedi Knight Revan is there. So we might be seeing the regression of the Darth Revan Pac-Man slowly as people start to get relics up and play around with different teams. So I think it'll be interesting to kind of track that starting again next week, because it has been so stale for so long. It's starting to kind of break a little bit now. So we'll start covering it again next week.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, so really nothing much, though. But we'll cover it one week. It'll be like, okay. All right. What else we do? Let's share some more stuff from the ACS stuff.
Well, before we do that, in the Fin Stuff channel,
What?
I have the list of shout-outs from the chat, Ranger.
Yeah.
If you want to do them. And since we were at Children's Healthcare, I was going to say an appropriate voice seems to be Kermit.
All right. And this is all for the CHOA stuff?
That's for the shout-outs in the chat.
Okay.
Hi ho, Kermit the Frog here from Reality Skewed Gamers, and today we are going to be shouting out all the people that put CHOA, the Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, in the chat. Yay! And unlike the rest of the useless Muppets that I'm working with, these people are very, very much appreciated. So let us read their names. Andrew Coulter, Apropos Wooin, Atomic Fish. Well, that doesn't sound very good. Bimatsu, he is in Hawaii. Can you say Hawaii? Briarius Aegon, that is the name of a dragon I once fought. Ah, just kidding. CBO 97, Contingent 33, DPK, Danny Crane, Dexatronic, Dark Lord Darth Coco. I like Coco. Finn, do you like Coco? I like Coco on a nice warm day.
I like Coco.
Dr. Feelgood, DSP, Dylar's Twilight's Tactics, Han Cholo, Helenix, Hogzilla, Italian Stalin. I didn't know we had him here. Hey, who knows Sylvester Stallone was here? Yay! JGB, Jorge Calvacante, John Moran, JV420, Kane 77, Kashmir, the lovely Miss Kanata and Miss Farquhar, Moss Def Isley, Moss Mike, Nev, Alchie Dumpling. Wait a minute, this is not very nice, Finn. This makes me very angry, this next name. Why didn't you warn me about this name, Finn? You are what is known as a butthole. Poor J 1999 loves lightsabers in the pee hole. Well, that's not very nice. That makes me angry. I feel very angry, Finn.
I saw that name. I'm like, that's the greatest name in the chat.
No, it's not. It's very mean, Finn.
Poor J1999
How would you like it
loves
if I stuck a
LITPH.
lightsaber in your pork's pee hole? You wouldn't like that very much at all.
It's so funny.
Ray Rock, Rosa972, Ronan Zai, Rose Taco, Shadowville, Skywalker Vader, Slash Finrose, Spider, Sword of the Jedi, Xylo Takedown. This is not a very nice, pleasant name either, Finn. Your Marty McFly is down. Well, that's not very nice to say.
Well, you would want somebody to tell you if your Marty
I don't
McFly
know who
was
Marty
down.
McFly is, but if his fly is down, you shouldn't be naming yourself after that. Walter Arnold, Wolfell, and Utah. Thank you for being here and saying CHOA in the chat. Yay!
All right. So thank you guys for putting that in the chat. And all right. So again, it's kind of a light week.
It's very light. It's been like a couple weeks.
So
Ever
we're just gonna
since
hang out with
Relics,
you guys, and then we'll.
Yeah.
So if you guys haven't already, we're gonna talk a little bit about some of the behind-the-scenes stuff that went into our charity stream and some of the things that you guys may not have seen. We'll talk about that for a little bit, and go on to our Twitter page. The handle is Reality Skewed Gamers with no vowels in the Skewed and Gamers. So it's Reality SKWDGMRS. Head there. Our question of the day is, what was your favorite moment from the RSG charity stream? And you guys can post your answers there, and we'll read the answers here.
Get your
in a little
questions
bit.
in, guys, and we'll read those next. So we'll get to those afterwards. So, all right, Finn, what else did you want to say about?
All right, so let's talk about kind of. We mentioned this a little bit in the chat, right? Last few months have been super busy with us trying to coordinate this. I know a lot of you saw, and we mentioned it very briefly. There was one other kid that was there. His name was Jaquez. And we didn't really get an opportunity to get him on stream very much. But there is a reason for that, and this goes to all the prep work that was going on earlier too. These are all, of course, kids and stuff. And so in order to really put them on stream and everything, we needed to figure out the way to get consent in order to get all of the kids. So this is all like a little bit behind the scenes stuff. Unfortunately, Jaquez didn't have anything, so we really couldn't show you more of him. I was playing with like cars and stuff with him in the back, and we were playing around in the track.
I was hanging out with him
and all of that. So we were hanging out with them while we were there. We just couldn't get them on stream and really let them interact quite as much as the other ones, as you saw with Wesson and Ethan and Austin.
Plus, he had his thing hooked up, so it was really hard.
He had his thing hooked up, but he was able to move it. I mean, I was moving it with him.
I did some lightsaber stuff with him, but I had to be careful, you know.
Yeah. So that was part of the reason why, for those of you that were asking in the chat, and I did see that, Jaquez, we really couldn't get him on stream quite as much because of that. But over the the last few months, it's been a coordination between the American Cancer Society, Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, and ourselves in order to figure out really what the best time to stream was. And trying to make this possible, because there was a lot of red tape in order to get through, because we're live streaming from a hospital. There's confidentiality. They're obviously kids, so they're minors, so they need to consent. I mean, it was a lot of discussions that we had to try and figure out what exactly we had to do in order to do this. But we wanted to do this, so it was just communication back and forth. And we can't say anything bad about anything that the American Cancer Society or Children's Healthcare of Atlanta did. Like, they tried to accommodate us, and we did everything, and it was awesome the way that they came and helped us and really wanted this to work. And we're glad that it did. But one of the things that they told us is that the schedule of the kids is completely unknown. I mean, straight up, they just told us, like, we don't know how many kids are going to show up. Like, there could be none. There could be like 15 of them. We have no clue. It varies from day to day. It varies from what they want to do, what their treatment schedule is, all of these kind of things, right? And so we planned this, and I saw one of the questions, and I'm sure it'll come up in the question list. So, like, how close is Ranger to killing Finn when he visited? Ranger was pretty close when we were setting up OBS. So the VIPs saw it. I don't know if you had a chance to watch it, Loki. Did you get a chance to watch the stream we did for the VIPs Sunday, when Ranger and I were setting up the stream?
I caught the tail end of it, but it was pretty good.
Yeah. So I am a little bit of a neurotic when it comes to planning.
A little,
just a little. So, and as you went with Disney with me, you would know. A little, like this much.
That's
So when we were planning our stream and stuff, like, I already worked on it on my OBS and stuff, and Ranger saw this. Like, I put a bunch of images and notes and everything into our Fin Stuff chat, which is usually where I post stuff that we need to, like, images and stuff to grab in order to put on the stream, or if there's notes or anything like that. That's our, like, admin channel where I put that stuff. And I had a crap ton of pictures and stuff in there. And so when I was there, we live streamed for all of the VIPs, so you guys could see it as kind of a behind the scenes thing. We set up everything for OBS. And when we set up everything for OBS, it was ridiculous. I had like 5 different setups, and we used the Stream Deck and all of it. And it ended up being useful, right? Because we couldn't get the Xbox to stream. Do you want to talk about the Xbox? So the Xbox stuff in the hospital was a whole different situation.
So we went Monday. So Sunday we did prep, set everything up, but we still had to go there and figure out what we had to work with. So we went there Monday, met with, the CHOA people. Mm-hmm. They had a lot of people there, and we had our representative. She was there, and brought my laptop there so I could at least test some stuff out. The internet was fine. For what it was, but there was no direct link. So first thing, we needed a Wi-Fi adapter to be able to do any kind of streaming whatsoever. So that was on our first thing on the list. The Xbox was there and set up, so I tried to connect to it. I'm like, I know what to do. Let me just connect. And I got connected, but I couldn't bring it up. I'm like, okay, I need the password for the Xbox. Every Xbox has an Outlook account. You can see it says CHOA, Outlook, blah, 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 blah. And everybody has that, but I need the password. If I don't have the password, I can't get into the Xbox to stream. And that's usually how you do for your gold and all that stuff that you do for Xbox. And nobody knew the password for that. And then we were like, okay, what's the password for the Wi-Fi? So it came down, we couldn't get to the Xbox to work at all. So then we had to figure out, okay, not only do we have to get a Wi-Fi adapter for the big tower, which we knew we were going to need to bring, but I had to bring my Xbox. So I knew that when we got there, we had to get there earlier so we could get to the Xbox, put my Xbox there, get it signed in and hooked up, and then hook that up to the stream. So there was a lot of stuff that went into the background where we had to be there so early so we could get it all set up. So we had 4 different cameras. We had everything that we had the stream stuff to worry about. Then we had to worry about the Xbox stuff. So but
It was a lot that went
Yeah,
on
it
to
was a
that.
lot
Just
of
those
stuff.
2 days that we had, it was crazy. But we're glad that you guys made it a huge success. And the other part too, like we mentioned, like the kids, we weren't sure whether or not they were going to come. And so Ranger and I, we interact with you guys all the time. So kind of keeping the stream moving along and having fun with you guys, and obviously you guys donating to the Tiltify and making us do ridiculous things. All of that was awesome. The ACS people and the CHOA people were like, they were trying to get the kids in as much as they could.
Yeah, so that's
they
the
were
thing.
like going around and trying to get the kids in, but we weren't having any kids, and you could sense it on some of them. Like they were worried about what was going to happen with the stream because we didn't have any of the kids here yet. We were like halfway through the stream and that kind of stuff. You guys donating the way that you did in order to, for me, just to ridiculously do push-ups in the middle of the stuff, and Ranger to pat Porg McFadden, good old Porg McFadden, pat him on the head and say porg, all of that kind of stuff, like made them chuckle and like just getting to the amounts that we did. So we can't thank you guys enough. The impression that you guys made, even though we didn't have kids in the first half of the stream in the playroom and stuff, but you guys were supporting the cause. You guys were supporting us in what we were trying to do, and it meant a lot to us, and it made a good impression on the guys that were with us, the CHOA folks and the ACS people that were there. They were very happy just to kind of see the community turn up the way it did.
They were shocked. They had never seen
were.
anything like that. They've never had an event like that, and you have to understand about these kids. It's not that they don't want to come. It's that they sometimes they can't come. Literally, I mean, they are really sick, and if the doctor says no, they ain't going anywhere. And if they're in a condition where they can't even, sometimes they've had medication or they've had treatment, they literally cannot get out of bed. And we can't go there because it's a very quarantined area. So, you guys are got to remember, a lot of them are getting chemo and things of that nature, radiation, their immune system shot. They are strictly under
we have to be very cautious on germ control
yes,
and
very
infection
cautious.
control and stuff.
So Fourth Cog just noticed. So what you are saying is the AC is more in love. Oh yeah, they love us and we love them. So there you go. It's a love.
We had a great time with Ben. And keep in mind, the ACS is huge, right? The ACS is a really big organization, and we dealt with Jessica and Jenna primarily through the determination campaign that we did last year. Our interactions with Ben and Jeff this year in order to set this up, and shout out to Jeff, who's leading the Gamers versus Cancer for the ACS and setting up a lot of these things. That I think you guys may have seen him in our Discord. He's Stingray in the Discord, and he's come in and chatted with you guys, I think, earlier this year towards the end of our last campaign. So a big shout out to them because they helped to coordinate this. Really funny was when Jessica and Jenna were on the stream, Ben didn't realize who exactly they were. So he asked like who they were. And I was like, they're from the Chicago ACS office. He's like, no kidding. It's like, so we have like the ACS is huge, and we're starting to talk to people in different departments and different parts of ACS. And it's awesome because it's a huge group, and we're starting to interact with so much of them, all for the same cause, which is bringing an end to cancer. So, so I don't know if they're necessarily more in love with us, but they definitely like us.
Yes, there were some heart emojis there. So, but the kids are great. We had a great time, and if the kids weren't able to show up, that's just the nature of the beast. It is what it is. Because when we got there at 11, that was when the doctors were doing the rounds, and then and they were scrambling. They were trying to find if any kids who wanted to be there. Most were like, yeah, Thor, I love Thor, but it's if they could come. And so if we do stuff like that in the future, we may not get any kids, guys. It's just the nature of what we're dealing with. This is why we are doing what we're doing, so we don't have to do god dang streams about cancer because it's been destroyed, and we don't have to deal with it anymore, and these kids can just be kids, so so all right, so that was a little bit more of the ACS stuff. You guys had asked us a lot of these questions that we wanted to cover for you. So that being said, Finn, I think it is time for us to get to the Twitter responses. I'd like to hear some of the Twitter responses.
All right, so let me go ahead and
then we'll do questions. So get your questions in, guys.
Yep, let me grab those here. By the way, really quick, I said I would announce this today. Team Finn versus Team Darth Revan J 1999, right? So we had Team Jedi Consular Finn, Team Darth Revan J 1999. Team Jedi Consular Finn got a total of $155.33. So thank you guys very much. That means Ranger had to pat Porg McFadden on the head basically 14 times and say Porg 7 times. So thank you guys for that. Team Darth Revan J 1999 got $320. So that means I had to do
push-ups.
Yeah, so I had to do a total of 16 push-ups, and then I did some extra, so I probably did close to 20 push-ups during that time. So Team Darth Revan J 1999 won yesterday. So there you go. Those were the totals from that little mini competition. All right, let us go to Nightbot and get the questions up while I get the Twitter responses. There we go. Okay, so once again, the Twitter question was, what was your favorite moment from the RSG charity stream? Loki, what was yours?
I think we lost Loki.
Did we lose Loki? Oh, he's there. I think we lost his video. He might have had to go do something. Okay, well, what was your favorite, Ranger?
Weston beating the crap out of me.
I think mine was when Ethan was reading the chat, and like I said, that I think that was my favorite moment. It's like, so many highs. That was my favorite moment of the entire stream. Loki, Yeah, no worries. What was your favorite moment from the stream yesterday?
All your push-ups. That was my favorite.
That's not nice. Okay. God, and the criticism that came along with the push-ups. It wasn't...
I know, with half the people that were donating...
and that's the first response. The first response was, it was really nice to see how happy you made all the kids. But my favorite part was when everyone kept donating for Jedi Consular... He wrote Swoller. Jedi Consular Finn to do push-ups and then criticizing his technique. And also the Finn dances. He added a unique sassiness to each dance.
Yeah, McVenom snorted.
Yeah, she did.
Well, the Macarena was good, yeah.
Yeah, she snorted. It was funny as hell.
Let's see. The next one. Of course, the best part was watching the kids being kids. Second best was the ACS peeps learning about Star Wars and reading the shout-outs better than Grande.
Yeah.
That's true. That's definitely true. We need to see if we can get them back on just to do shout-outs.
Yeah.
Next one says, watching the kid check to make sure Ranger was dead in the lightsaber duel.
Yes.
It was also nice to watch the kid criticize Finn's push-up form. I think Austin was not helping with that at all. He was not helping with the push-up technique criticism. Next one, when Ethan was just standing there telling Ranger to come at me, bro, and then whooping up on him. It's true. Next one, Ranger doing backwards head Darth Revan was very funny.
Yeah.
The first 2 minutes, if you guys didn't see, there was a challenge, an Xbox challenge, and Ranger had to play with his helmet backwards. He basically spent the entire time looking up at the ceiling and jumping. That was pretty much it, because he couldn't figure out what direction to go. That was actually pretty awesome. The next one, just seeing all the kids hanging out and having fun for a little while was my favorite part. Wesson was uber cute.
Wesson was a trip. He was amazing.
Yeah. Wesson was awesome. So those were the responses. And you know what? All of you guys win in responses.
Yes, you do, because you guys were all amazing yesterday.
Mm-hmm. So shout out to Hogzilla, Kashmir, Deadpool Kyle, DSP, Nev, and Bimasu.
There you go.
All right. Again, not a lot of... We're kind of hanging out with you guys today a little bit. We covered the topics today, which was largely the October calendar. Lots of legendaries and stuff coming. It seems to be setting up for episode 9.
There was something about,
they did a lot of little bug fixes
and stuff like that. It's not even worth mentioning.
We can talk about the advantage thing, because that's actually not a terrible thing, but they made advantage better now.
Yeah.
So it
that's all
used
you
to
have
be
do.
if you hit advantage against foresight, you would lose the advantage, right? So basically now, but if you hit it against crit immunity, you did not. So there wasn't really consistency in what would happen with crit advantage. So what they did now is that advantage now sticks through regardless if it did not proc.
Yeah.
So whether it's foresight or and not, so that is going to be good for first order. I think first order are going to be able to use that a little bit more. Is it really changing the faction very much? No, not really. It's almost the equivalent of how much of an increase you got when you got the first order bonus in territory wars before, right? It adds a little something to it, but it's not really game changing. It doesn't really change the mechanics of the team.
No.
So it's a decent change.
It's not
And I think it
game-changing.
makes sense that they're trying to standardize it like that. But
Yeah.
but nothing. It's not a
thing,
major thing.
Yeah. So there you go. All right, let's get to the questions. I think that's what's said. Question time. Time
all right.
for us to do questions.
We have lots of time for question, guys. If you guys have questions, make sure you type them in the chat.
Let's do it.
With question.
This is
no GAC right now. No real news in the game. I mean, we have a lot of time to spend with you guys. So, Kashmir, first question. Actually, hold on. Before we get to Kashmir, there's one other. Utah question. Do you guys mind pimping's Finn's 2-hit single, RSG and pickle time and stroking the Wookiee? It has been posted in the talented peeps section of Discord. Yeah, Utah separated those out and put them in talented peeps in the RSG Discord.
No, those aren't going to come out anytime soon. All right,
they're already out.
Yeah,
there.
Yeah, they're go back and listen on YouTube. They're there.
Kashmir, who are the two people who gave thumbs down to yesterday's stream, and what is wrong with you two?
Yeah, seriously, who does that? What is wrong with you? I didn't like the fact that they had 4 cameras and one with just stab yourself.
Next one.
How awful of a human being are you for a group trying to raise money to fight pediatric cancer, and your response is a thumbs down? Like, I feel sorry for you. You are a horrible person. I feel horrible for you. You really have no life, and no one loves you.
All right.
Misclicks my ass.
It is not Nathaniel Marks. Okay, next one. From Adonis Sigma. Question: do you feel there is enough time for a new meta to show before the upcoming movie meta? Wouldn't this mean it wouldn't last long anyways? So if you remember, and again, I don't know how long you've been playing. I think you've been playing for a while, Adonis. The name is very familiar because I know you've been around, and I think you've been around for a while. If you remember back in the old days of meta, the rule of metas was you don't chase the meta because by the time you get it, it's going to change. So you work on good characters, so you always have something that can hopefully be a counter to it, at least a soft counter. So that used to be the day, and basically the meta would shift pretty much every 2 to 3 months. We would have a rotation, which would be roughly the time that we would have a meta shift with episode 9, right? Because if we get something in the next month or two, right, depending on what it is, we might be able to get the character up and be the meta relatively quickly. And stuff related to episode 9 may require a little bit of additional time to farm. And so if it takes more time to farm, then it may not be there. Right, it's going to take a little while for it to end up being the meta. So, I don't know, Loki. What do you think? Do you think there's time for another meta before the episode 9 meta shows up?
I'm gonna say no. I mean, episode 9's not that far away anymore, and I mean, they're probably gonna do a bunch more reworks, but I don't think they're gonna be meta at this point. I mean, Malik's just too good, man. I don't know what they're going to – I don't know how you come over the top against Malik. That tune is just super annoying. So if this new Anakin comes out, I don't know if it's going to it seems like what all they're doing is they're coming out with reworks and like onesie twosie tunes that beat the meta, I guess, easily. So they give you more tools to beat the meta, but they haven't come out with obviously a new meta since Malik. So It's been a while.
Yeah. All right. Next question. I think I asked this one earlier. Hogzilla's question was, how close did Ranger come to killing Finn while Finn was
Yes,
visiting?
we've asked and answered. Yes.
It was very close.
I actually got to one point when we've done most of the stuff. I'm like, Finn wanted to do some more. I'm like, all right, buddy, sit in the chair. My back hurts. I'm gonna watch football. I'm doing man shit. Get away from me.
And I did it.
He did do it. So at the end of the stream, Finn did it. So I was like,
Because all the stuff that I told Ranger to do, I showed him that I was actually already doing it on my end.
I know.
So I had to practice a bunch of stuff in order to figure out how to set it up.
Still
before we
didn't
did
mean
it
I
on
wasn't
Ranger,
gonna kill him.
Yeah, I know. That's true. Utah question, did Finn catch in chat McVenom said she will dance in her PJs in April on yesterday's stream? I did catch that she said it. I don't know what she... I don't know in what context.
It's not
she said
unusual to be loved by everyone.
Well, did she say that she was going to do it as a challenge, or she was just going to do it?
Well, it's a challenge now. Put it on there.
Well, unless she said she was just going to do it anyways. I don't know what she said. And she's not here yet. I think she's still on her way home because she had to go to the barn that was kind of far away, I think. So, but yeah, I don't know in what context she said it. I know she said it. I just don't know if she said it as a challenge. She's just gonna do it. I don't know. So I'll have to follow up with her on that. So I only caught part of it. I did see that she said it, but I don't know all the stuff around it because it was hard to pay attention to chat while we were doing that. And big shout out to Sanely and McVenom for holding down the fort, the stream and yes, they were. I mean, and I hope you guys appreciated them too. I mean, they were really holding it down. We were doing stuff on our end in the hospital, but really the stream was moved along with Sanely and McVenom. They were basically telling us exactly what we needed to do. If there was ever any issues, they were trying to relay that to us the entire time. So between reading chat, trying to keep up with the donations, and then telling us what to do, they were really kind of directing the entire thing. So big shout out to Sanely and McVenom for that. Nathaniel Morgan, so this goes into a little bit of the speculation stuff. What are your thoughts on the rumor about the event requiring 20,000 power? I know you don't like to speculate on rumors, but it's so outlandish, I wanted to ask. I don't think 20,000 power is coming, but it's a matter of time because Relics adds 7,000 power. 20,000 is also not the most necessarily difficult thing to get to now if you have Gear 12 characters. So if you have Gear 12, like my Jedi Knight Revan, for example, right? Because he has multiple Zetas, is Gear 12, 5 out of 6 with the 3 Zetas, and he's 27,000.
Right, but that's not the characters you need to worry about. It's going to be the other characters that'll.
Yeah, it's going to be the other characters. But what I'm saying is, there's going to be a way to get to it. It might require a little bit more investment, but again, know this.
I will lose my ever-loving mind if I have to take characters that are so ridiculously stupid to 20,000 plus power because CG wants to. They will get a piece of my mind, and then I will quit the game. I seriously.
But there you go.
There's a straw that will bring the back because if I have, it's one thing that all this crap that CG's been doing, but if you create an event like that, and I have a sneaky suspicion that if this does happen and they bring out a character that you have to spend a fortune to get, on top of that, getting these characters with Gear 13 relics and 20,000 powers, I'm gonna I'm on stream. I'm going to give CG the bird, and I'll go play other stuff, guys. There's more stuff and better games out there that we can play and spend our money on and focus our efforts on. Fighting cancer and having fun with other games that don't require this ridiculous nonsense. CG has got to pull their head out their ass. And I'm telling you, if they do something like this, I'm done. So, just letting you know, CG, and you're going to get it to me like if you think I've ranted before, it'll be my last rant because I'm never going to deal with you again. And I'm going to make sure I get as many people to quit with me as possible. So, just a heads up, CG. Don't be stupid.
There you go.
Why is the login tune Clone Sergeant?
Yeah,
login tune is Poggle.
For October, it's Poggle.
No, but why is it Clone Sergeant for September?
Oh, I don't know.
Still doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's a good point. I don't. Maybe just to tell us about Clone Light Side.
At the time to launch anything this month. I don't know how they're going to do it.
Yeah, that's true. I know we thought about it because it was largely going to be like Clone clone oriented and everything, but yeah, they really didn't do too much with
so
it. I mean, they did do the rework.
Yeah, so the thing I'm worried about with the clones is I've got the big 3 to 12, right? Maybe I take Cody to 12. I think he's like 10 or 11 right now. I really don't want to take Clone Sergeant to 12, you know, but I'm like, oh God, do I need to?
Man, his ship is good.
It is, but it's like,
Super good.
do I really want to take those 2 characters? Because they're not really related to the 501st at all, right? I was thinking 501st related tunes, right? So I've been focusing on that. I already had Anakin, Ahsoka, and all that stuff done, right? So I'm like, well, if I get Rex, Echo, and 5s done, and then I go hit Shock T really hard, right? Getting her shards and to start working on her Cartex and gear and stuff, okay, I'll work on her, right? But I just have a sneaky suspicion on my... I'm going to get blindsided by something here, man. I'm going to be like, what? I need Luminara. Kiss my ass. Plo Koon!
I can't wait to use her.
Kid Fisto, what? I got a Fisto for you in your kit.
Yeah, it's about time we had some use for him.
Yeah, they better rework it, but we'll see what happens at this point. I'm just doing what I got to do. But I was glad I got those 3 to 12. I'm gonna work on Ahsoka now. I've got those Zetas saved up. I haven't put any Zetas on them yet, Loki. So I could put all the Zetas on the clones and then Shock T. But I'm just like, I'm gonna wait. I have a feeling I need to wait. I'm putting these good dang Zetas on.
Yeah, do it for the ship, man.
I don't really care about that.
It's good, man.
I know, but I haven't unlocked Negotiator yet, so I'm getting closer. I'm over halfway, so I'm using all my Get 2 for that. So I'll get that done.
You did a good job with that shit, man. I'm gonna admit it. It's makes my arena a lot easier. Because I hate the Millennium. I mean, you want to talk about meta? They need to change the ship meta. Hurry up, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That they do.
It's bad. But I mean, Negotiator.
Yeah, they're really good ships. It's not my primary focus. I've never really cared about ships. I care more about the characters and the teams for JC, things of that nature. So,
Affinity, his Jedi Counselor is gonna be good, man. With that,
he's a pretty good ship. Problem
He's getting close to Relic 3.
hard, and
yeah,
mine's only tier 12, and he's hitting like 120k, which is great on the assist, right?
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
And that's another like 60k on the basic, which is great. He hits hard, man. I like that ship a lot now.
Okay, next question.
All right. Jedi Gunny 1216. Question: does CG release characters anymore that is not an event money grab? Any comments on the screenshot footage? So we talked about the screenshot. I'm sure they're going to release Marquise again here soon.
We'll see it with episode 9. There'll be a lot more characters.
Yeah, I think we're going to see Marquise again.
Yeah,
They
we'll
didn't
see
make
Marquise.
money with Bodhi Rook, so they're not going to do it anymore.
No.
It was a bad business.
Well, if you consider
I'm the
Marquise a money grab, then no, they're not going to release anything that's not a money grab. If you don't consider Marquise a money grab, then I think you will, because I think we'll see some more Marquise style events. But that's about the extent. I don't think we're going to see any Bodhi Rooks or anything like that anymore.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, that's great.
Yeah.
That'll never happen again.
Okay, here we go.
Nathaniel Morgan, question: do you think they should release a feat schedule? I'd known about the endurance feat before the final match. I could have cheesed my defense to ensure full clear and fleet completion and made Kyber, but I lost. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm down with that. Have an idea.
I mean, little things like that may be useful. I think maybe they do it as a surprise, and maybe it's a random rotation to some extent that they don't tell anyone. It's hard to say for sure. I think it would be nice if there was a schedule, but there's also something to the typical strategy of do it now and random, you don't know what feats are coming up type of thing. Because honestly, I don't know, that isn't to say that they haven't done it. I haven't seen our typical data miners actually list the feats ahead of time.
Yeah.
So yeah. Let's see. What else? 73 is question: do you think they should make a parameter where if you have a Relic 7 character, no one without a Relic 7 character should face you? No.
I beat Relic 17s all the time. It's not that.
Then people would just go to Relic 6 and stop.
Yeah.
I mean, if you put any kind of limitation, there's always going to be a way to min-max it, right? So if you make so that Relic 7s only face other people with Relic 7s, people are going to go to Relic 6 and not do anything because that way they don't have to worry about it. So, yeah, it's not going to... Yeah, I don't think that's necessarily going to change much. The GP is going to make an impact, I think. Hopefully we'll see matchups where... And I think Loki might be a good indication on this. Hopefully you end up in groups that aren't going to be punching bags on you, or you're not going to be the punching bag to a bunch of groups because of... If they have Relic 7s, then you don't have to worry about it.
It is what it is, man. I can't... I mean, how come I can't be the one at the bottom of the the lower GP?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I know.
That person. Anyway.
Yeah. Bones Jones 159. Question. Grand Arena Championship is like a month long. Why do the rewards suck?
I don't know. It's a lot of work and effort for not really much.
Well, don't forget you do get stuff in between each round, right?
It doesn't really add to Hill of Beans, man. Not for what's in there. It's just...
It is a lot, but...
I mean, it's for the amount of time, if you add up all the feats and stuff like that and everything you get, it still doesn't really add to much, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. DSP question. I've had the best luck with Plo, Anakin, and Rex staying with 5s and Clone Sergeant and Ahsoka as backup. Anyone heard what the best negotiator fleet is?
I don't know. Warrior has a video out on it. You should watch that.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch it because I'm not unlocking negotiator for...
Yeah, I don't have
like another few
negotiator.
weeks.
I can't really tell you what the best lineup is, so sorry.
Loki, have you seen any good negotiator lineups?
Well, the one I'm using is it's Anakin 5s as the starters with Houndstooth, and then I have Jedi Counselor, Plo Koon, and Sergeant off the bench.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, so it's just super tanky. You keep Anakin alive with Negotiator Special, and then the starting lineup, he gets the buff anyway, so he doesn't die. And then the second special gives all the Galactic Republic the buff again. And you just keep calling Anakin to assist and what you need to do. It's a pretty easy fight against the Admiral Akbar metas, the Rebel metas right now.
There we go. Next question. Nathaniel Morgan, do you think they should incentivize defensive playstyles in Grand Arena Championship? Currently, you can lose a battle or two, but only if you full clear. If you go heavy D and you lose, you're basically hosed.
Yeah, even then, if you full clear, that doesn't mean you're gonna. If you don't get the victory, I mean, I full cleared both opponents that I lost, and because I didn't get the 1,000, I didn't get to Kyber. So, yeah, there's no feats for defense. Like, get 5 defensive holds in GAC or something like that, right? Have two, something along those lines. That'd be kind of incentive, right? I mean, it's all geared toward offense, right? It'd be kind of cool because, again, they need to tweak the scaling of what it takes to get to Kyber, and I think it'd make the match more interesting because if you did get some feats for defense and you didn't need as much for offense, it would just really change people's play styles. The people that play defensively more wouldn't be hurt as much because then it doesn't benefit them. Even though they win, they lose because they don't get a lot of points as compared to somebody that puts a solid defense down but goes way more in offense, kind of like I do. Because the teams I put on defense, they're no slouch, right? They're pretty good, but I have a lot of offensive firepower when I go on offense, so I can still get the full clear, right? So it's kind of stuff like that they can need to kind of tweak and stuff. But those are just tweaks that they need to look at.
Yeah, I think something they could do. I don't know exactly. So I don't necessarily want to over incentivize defense because if you give points for a full clear is still going to mean that you focus more on offense, right? Yeah. So I don't think you really want to do anything that changes that because you're not going to be able to balance out defensive and offensive fleets. And I'm okay with them favoring more on the offense than the defense because the offense allows you to play with your characters. So I think it's a little better that it's focused more on offense than defense.
But
I think
not
what
as much
they can
strategy is involved in it, and I don't know. It just
it is right because here's what they can do, which would be kind of it would basically be the same result, but in a different way, right? Let's suppose they got rid of it so that regardless of how many attempts it took you, offensively, you could always get up to 64 points, right? But if you got one defense, you defensively got 15 points. If you got two defenses, you got 25 points.
Yeah, that'd be a good way to do it. I like that.
But the point system ends up exactly the same. So rather than adding defensive points on one side, right, and just giving you the full offensive, they just subtracted it and just gave you less offensive. So basically, they already gave you defensive points. They just mathed it so it's only being added to one side.
I disagree with that. That's no. I'm sorry, that's not true, Finn. I mean,
well, think about it. If I told you that regardless of how many attacks it took you on offense, it would take you. You would get up to 64 points. As long as you beat the team, you would get 64 points. But defensively, if you got a defense, you would get what is that? I think it's 20 points. If you got one defense.
That's too complicated.
And if you got two defenses, you would get 35 points. Which I think is converting to I can't remember the exact number.
I'm not worried about the point system or anything. I'm talking just a little bit more incentive for defense, right? That's all I'm saying.
But the incentive is there because you're trying to prevent the first time clear. The problem is they're not really doing too much for the first time clear. We're now getting to the point with 7 million GP.
There's no incentive whatsoever.
Well, I think the incentive is there for defense, but what I think is actually needs to be done is that we are getting to the point now where there is 6 million GP because of relics. I don't think 4.5 million is what we need the cutoff for the top division.
No, I think
we're getting ready for another division that can potentially make it so that one of these zones now has 3 teams, and rather than trying to force defense, you just make it so that you have to use more of your roster. That inherently gets you to use 2 extra teams, 1 team on defense, 1 team on offense. How do you do it? Do you just keep on putting your easiest things on defense? Well, eventually you're just going to lose on points because your team's going to get run over. And your 7th or your 18th team is going to be too weak.
It depends on the roster and where you are in Division 1.
But I can't think of 18 teams that are super cohesive, which leaves you with one that's going to be really easy.
I mean,
right? Like you're going to end up with Rogue One. You're going to end up with Phoenix.
Yeah,
you're going to end up with Ewoks.
But those
you're
teams,
not. There aren't
but it
that
depends
many
on the level of those
level
teams, right? And who you put on defense. I don't think that's really.
Well, so there you said it, right? It depends on who you put on defense, which is my point. The way to actually get defense.
Get your clones up, put them on defense. Get your Ewoks up. There's 2 teams. You still.
But that's fine. That's my point. You're kind of making my point. I don't think I don't think the way to incentivize defense is to change the points. I think the way to get more defense is to make it so that you're using more of your roster and you're more strategic with where you put your strongest team.
I mean, you can do that, but I mean, the feats themselves imply, Finn, everything is geared toward offense.
It is.
There's nothing on defense. You just put defense on there just for the match itself, but for those extra points and things that you win to try to get to Kyber and to other stuff to get these feats done, like undersized and clearing zones and doing all that stuff.
But how are you going to balance offensive feats and defensive feats? You're not going to have enough of a roster for it. That's why I'm saying, like, it's better to leave the feats offensive and then make it so you can put better things on defense. It's just a simple thing to get
points, Finn. Have a defensive hold in a region. It's something simple like that. Just give some points out like that.
But how is that going to... Are you really going to, like, put a different team on defense just because there's a feat? I mean, wouldn't you already want that?
You can try to at least put something on defense to try to get those things and make it a little bit tougher. You don't have to do... It can be done, Finn. It doesn't have to be all offense incentivized. All right, we've been on this enough, and we're going round and round. Let's go to the next question.
Loki, what do you think, though? We haven't gotten...
Loki's the punching bag. Loki does not care.
Well, the funny thing is I fight, probably the biggest whales, in the bracket, and they cheese defense, too. They put, put Phoenix, and they put, Gear 11s and Gear 12s and stuff in this bracket, right? But I think I like Finn's idea incentivizing the defense. I think if one of your teams in one of your sections maybe holds off, like let's say one of your teams has 2 battles, right? It took them 2 battles to take it down. You should get something for that. So that means, they didn't send a burner team in against your Darth Revan team to take all the all the, put all the abilities on cooldowns, then they send a second team in to beat it, right? Because that's what people do is, they'll burn your cooldowns, take down your other team with, let's say like a 4v5 or a 3v5 and do it in 2 attempts. So I think if they incentivize that your team held one battle on defense, I think that would be good somehow. And they track that already. So that'd be something. And then the person attacking you has to think about it, right? Do I take this team down in 2, or do I take it down, or do I try to take it down in 1 to prevent you to get your defense points? So that's
I'm just throwing ideas out there. I mean, the thing it is now is just it's purely offense. Like, and what do you have on defense? Is it solid enough to keep what they're doing on offense?
Yeah, I lost GACs by 3 points because the other person didn't go heavy on defense, and then he just had everything on offense to take out my heavy defense. And then I laid all my heavy defense down and didn't have anything on offense. So
well, it's a balance. You can't go full defense or full offense. You just can't. There has got to be. You have to know your roster and balance it, right?
Sure.
For GAC. So if you go too heavy on defense, then you're hoping that your team holds and you can get the win by what you've got left over to try to beat whatever they've got on offense or their defense, right? Because usually the first teams in the front zones are always heavy teams, right? It's what they have in the back that kind of tells you.
Like you can put a team in the front that normally, it's like they would have to use a Treya team, right, to take down this team in the front, and then you hide the one team in the back.
Yeah, you do the peekaboo thing where it's like, oh, well, there's Geonosians. Oh, there's Grievous. I do that all the time with my defense. People are like, they get through my front where it's like GR, Night Sisters, Bounty Hunters, Old Republic, and then they pick in the back like, oh, there's Geonosians. Oh, there's a Grievous team. Oh, look out, there's, so they get surprised by what I put on the back line. So, but I've geared my GAC to where my defense is pretty good. But it still focuses more. I keep the heavy hitting teams for offense. One, it's just I'm showing it on YouTube, but it just works out that way. So I don't know. I just some ideas is just throwing that out there, guys. So
either way, I think there needs to be a change, especially at the highest of Division 1, because I don't think it's scaling properly. At
that point. So.
Let's see. Next question is, let's see that one. Okay, so Nathaniel Morgan question. How to mod Jedi Consular, currently running health and tenacity, sitting at 106 tenacity with 78 speed,
Okay.
wanted some tenacity so he could use his heal frequently over a pure health.
Yeah, that's all you, Finn.
Yeah, no, I think that's the right way. So I think what I'm going to... So right now I'm focused just on health in order to try and get him as super healthy as possible. But I think you are correct. I think the best thing to do is to try and get him around 100% tenacity, then as much health as possible. He does need a little bit of speed in order to get going. So somewhere around close to plus 100 speed is what I would say. If you're trying to optimize him for a team. I'm still kind of playing around with what the best thing is. The safest bet is just health and speed without any tenacity. And then hoping that you can resist and everything with the help of a Padme team. That's who I put him. I put him as the 5th on a Padme team. So that would be kind of the general setup there. Jiri Simola says, question, if I use R2-D2 instead of IPD in the Grievous nuke team, should I mod him for health instead of offense that he is currently modded?
I got this question at lunch. I said health, he's got to survive. So you can, because your droid team's going to go first, right? When it goes, it's just not a great fit for me in the droid lineup. But if I said anything, make it survivable health and protection. I mean, RT's not really there to lay damage, it's the other droids. But you're taking off one of the heavy hitter droids, so make them survivable. So you can do the turn meter reduction, do the turn them all invisible, stealth them so they can do attacks and not get counted, things of that nature. His fire's not going to do a lot of stuff. He's not going to give turn meter like he does with the JTR team. But what do you guys think on this?
My only concern with that team is it's not a target lock. I mean, that's really what IPD is there for, right? It's the target lock. You're losing a lot by replacing R2-D2 with IPD.
IPD with R2, you mean?
Yeah. If you're replacing IPD with R2. So I'm wondering what the reason is. Is maybe IPD isn't ready, so you're trying to stick in another droid or something like that in there. In which case, then I would even consider something like a chopper instead of an R2. But I'm kind of curious why R2 over IPD. Just because you really need the target lock, I think, more so than anything else. So, oh well, thank you.
Pudding Ding 2 just donated $20.
Well, thank you, Pudding Tang 2.
I got it, Pudding Dad.
You know, he says it's Pudding Tang, so I think we need
I
Bill
know.
Cosby
I
to shout
did
him out.
I was doing the Sylvester Tweety thing, Finn. I mean, I know
Yeah,
you're.
no, but we need the Bill Cosby to shout him out.
I am
Pudding.
not doing that man ever again. So.
How many women wish they could say that? Okay.
Oh my God. Finn.
Put him. Okay.
No, man. God dang. Wow.
What? I'm just saying.
I mean, Jesus.
This is a porg.
How are you, Loki? Yeah, you're still on mute there, buddy.
All right. Let's go with the next question. So it's a two-parter.
Right.
It's a two-parter from Alchi. And the question is, with new services like Apple Arcade and Google Play Pass, which cover the cost of apps and removes ad from apps that are part of the service, do you see the model changing for games like Galaxy of Heroes, especially when including games for Google Play Pass have in-app purchases covered?
Yeah, so I was looking at that. So it's a membership. It's like we mentioned, you get there, pay a certain month for 12 months, and then it goes up a little bit. I think it's $1.99 they were offering, and then it goes to $5.99. And you get
the promotional is $1.99.
Yeah, you get 350 games. You can download them and play them all you want on your phone and all this other stuff. So it's going to have an effect on them for sure, right? So, yeah.
So the question really is, right, how much are they going to get from Google Play Pass? Like they see the model with movies and TVs and stuff with like Netflix,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Amazon Prime is doing it by clipping it onto their Prime service, right? So they have other things that they're getting from the Prime as it is. So you have Amazon Prime TV and stuff. I know Disney is kind of doing it. The question for the gaming stuff, though, is a subscription gaming model really going to work? We've seen some things like, like the GameFly where you can rent the games and stuff.
So the companies have taken it over themselves. So it used to be like GameFly, things of that nature. I think it'll work. Mobiles for Google Play, all that stuff, right? It's just like Xbox Pass. You get all the games and stuff like that, right? So you play online, things of that nature. So,
but that's only for some of them, right?
For some of them, newer games you still have to purchase, but you can wait and eventually you can get them for like nothing and play them, and it's all there, right? So it's kind of like that model. But I mean, Google has the games. The games go through Google, so it makes sense, right? So I think it's smart. It's a smart play, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how many people
it's
actually
interesting to see how it works out.
It.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it's a good deal. I mean, it really is $1.99.
So for a game, so to your question though, would this work for something like Galaxy of Heroes? Honestly, I'm going to say the answer is no.
No.
The reason for Galaxy of Heroes is because of how many hands are in the pot for Galaxy of Heroes, right? You have EA, you have Lucas, you're going to have Disney, all of which are probably going to take a cut, as well as Google and Apple before it even gets to CG. The cost for development of something with an IP as strong as Star Wars, with this many hands in it, concerns me with how much they'd be able to make from Google Play versus how much they can capitalize from like the in-game purchases and the freemium model,
Sure.
which has worked for them, right? So, and it's not that freemium hasn't worked in other games, The only problem is how much can you actually make off of it, and this is a game where they've done it successfully. There's games like Clash of Clans that still do it successfully too. They do a lot more of the smaller sales, I think, more so than the larger ones, but they still make a good amount in it. So I think it could work, but a game like Galaxy of Heroes is one that concerns me just simply because of how much profit is being taken out before it actually gets to the development company.
There's a lot of the financials and stuff we just don't have access to. We can't really. Best we can do is make an educated guess on it, but really, unless we had the hard facts in front of us and things, it's hard to say. I can't give you a definitive answer.
Right. And one thing just to clarify, when I was reading it, it didn't necessarily say that it like covered your in-game purchases.
No, it doesn't.
It's just that the game does not have in-game purchases or
Right.
ads. So it's built on a different model than Galaxy of Heroes is. Because Galaxy of Heroes is definitely built on that in-game purchases model. So it's a little bit different. So it's just something to kind of... It'll be interesting to see, but...
we'll see.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how it works.
All right, let's get to a few more questions.
Deadpool Kyle, question. Thank you for all you do for this community and what you do for the ACS. You guys are amazing, and I'm glad to call you guys friends. Please don't ever change.
We won't.
We won't.
I'll still kill Finn. Loki will still be sexy, and then...
Porg McFadden is now a legend, thanks to
yes,
Austin.
there you go.
That's Porg McFadden, by the way. He's flapping.
Okay, get to the next question. Get that stupid mongoloid feather freak out of the damn thing.
He's really happy because you were patting him on the head. And
yeah,
everything.
Finn fails to mention, besides patting him on the head, I punched him, choked him, force choked him, threw him.
He thought Ranger was playing, so he was happy.
thought I was playing. Bull crap.
He's been hanging. He's
Finn lives in his own world where he sees someone getting the crap kicked out. I'm like, oh, that's love.
He's a happy little pork.
Yeah, he's not happy.
And Ranger just punched him by accident. It was a happy accident.
Yeah, it was a happy accident. My ass.
Happy accident. See, look at that face. God. He's all happy. Yeah, he's excited to see Ranger.
Look, I'm not an expert, but does that pork look happy? It looks like a frowny face to me.
Yeah, he looks pissed off.
Yeah, he looks pretty angry. Next question, please, Finn.
There we go. There's your smile. See, it's a smile now.
You're an idiot. Next question, please.
All right. Next question. What else? 73. Does Jedi Consular Dr. Neurotic have a good ring to it? Seems for me. Ray Raw question. Who was Ben on the stream again? Okay. So Ben was actually from the American Cancer Society.
Yep. He
actually, if you guys watched the video for the VR, was actually in that video. So you could actually see him as part of the VR program. He actually does a lot with Children's Healthcare of Atlanta for that VR program that they do there. And so he's really part of the ACS, and him and Jeff were the ones that really helped us with the setup for all of this. And let me find it here. His exact title is Senior Director for Digital Projects or Digital Products and Innovation for the ACS.
He was a cool guy. He played
cool
Battlefront with me and Finn. It was a lot of fun. So there you
go. All right. Ouchie. Question. Can one of the next marathon streams have a portion in Second Life where we can all log in and interact, do silly stuff for an hour or so, since ACS has a presence there? We can look at it. Yeah, I'm not necessarily opposed to that.
As long as you guys keep it clean.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not necessarily opposed
clean.
to that. So, all right, we'll do a couple more questions here. Rooster question. Finn, why did you mute Ranger's launch stream?
No, that was me. I can't blame Finn on that one. That was me. I said everything last night. I was tired. I didn't really have anybody to interact with. Usually I have somebody on the call. I would have caught it beforehand, but I didn't, so that's on me.
Next question from Prometheus. Question. Do you think the next meta will be light or dark side, and what faction? Light side and Galactic Republic.
I think light side Rebels.
Rebels? Oh, so you're
Jedi
thinking just straight episode 9.
Baby.
You're thinking episode 9. Okay, I'm thinking something before
that. No, I'm
that,
thinking past that. I don't think we're not getting something awesome until we're getting Jedi Luke in December.
But you don't think there's a meta in between?
Not really, no. Yeah, I made that up. Wow. I don't really think that. I was trying to think. Yeah, Endor Luke. Yeah, it's not coming. So
I do like Endor.
Yeah, it would be great.
Okay.
Walks, man. That'd be amazing.
All right, next question.
Let's see. Bones Jones 159 question. With the release of relics, do you feel we won't have a meta anymore? We already see it in Arena. Arena doesn't really have a meta team.
Yeah, it does. It's called Darth Revan.
It's still Darth Revan. You're seeing 88.
Yeah, you're seeing 88 Grievous teams, and you're seeing clones. They can work against it on offense. On defense, they don't hold either. So you're seeing more people that can't get those characters or don't have those characters using them to some effect, but it's still 75% of the teams being used at rank 1 are Darth Revan teams with Malik.
Yep.
I face Relic 7 Maliks in my chart all the time and destroy them. Why? Because it's easy to counter them. I can counter the clones and I can counter the Relic 7 because I got a Relic 4 Malik and a Relic 3 team, and they just can't kill me. And especially Malik at higher Relic levels is stupid. He just looks at Grievous going, oh, that was nice. Let me just take everything you just took away from me with your life. So, yeah.
Yeah, and then after this, I saw Urza's pet Sarlacc, who's in the chat.
Oh, hey.
Had mentioned, don't you get more defense if your front line can hold? Yeah, effectively you do, because you prevent them from getting into the back zones and everything, right? So you prevent them from doing it. So a good frontline hold can get you a victory.
It can,
but
it's harder because they've got more teams to counter your front line.
It depends on the division too, right? Your division makes a big difference.
Yeah, it depends on
how you set defense.
Which team you place on defense on the front line, how good it is, what they're trying to use against it. So typically you can see a lot of Darth Revans, Padmes, those kind of teams that are on the front line that throw people off. Especially if they have to use a team and they're not prepared for some of the counters in the back. Usually front line you see go down. Unless it's like a Darth Revan they couldn't get past, or a Padme team they couldn't get past. Any other teams they get past, and then they get to the back line, they're like, "Don't!"
Yeah.
So it's very situational. And I've had my Padme team hold a lot this GAC. Had it not hold because they had everything on offense, and I could tell because I got through their front line, which was like Night Sisters, First Order Bounty Hunters, and what was the other team you saw? Like Grievous. I'm like, what's in the back? Ewoks, Rogue One, Phoenix. Like, I see what you did there.
Yeah. All right. We have a few more questions here, so we'll run through these. CBO97 question: for those of us without Gear 13, should we avoid ranking up divisions to stay having fun in GAC? I actually think it's the opposite.
Yeah.
So far, what I've seen is that the higher end of a division is actually more competitive because there's a lot of people trying to stay just below the cap. So they drop mods and stuff, and they actually have really concentrated rosters. Versus the lower part of your next division actually makes your matchups a little bit easier because you'll be able to see more fluff. You have less people with concentrated just above compared to the number of concentrated just below.
Yeah.
So actually going up a division could help you with more fun matchups.
Yeah. So there you go.
But you do have to be concerned about putting another team on defense. So it depends on your roster and whether or not you're ready for that.
Yeah.
Prometheus question: do you think CG needs to have a better standard for ties in GAC? Highest GP to me seems unfair. Yes.
Yeah.
I think I've said it before. What I would do, one of two things would be the way that I would do it. One, I think the lower GP should win, because if you face somebody with a higher GP and you actually manage to tie them, the lower GP should actually win that. So that would be the first thing. But all of that aside, to me, if you have a tie in banners, the tiebreaker should be the amount of GP you used in order to get that banner amount, and the lower amount of GP used on offense wins. Not just your roster, but the total number of GP used in terms of the number of teams that you took in. So even your failed ones would count towards the total.
Yeah.
And however much you spent GP-wise to beat your opponent would count as your total, and the lower one of that would win. That would be my suggestion.
That plan, Finn. That's really good.
They should just have both players put one team on defense again, and you go face one more team.
Oh, I like that. A wild card round.
Just make it sudden death. One team on defense, and then you go attack it.
There you go.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
This is good suggestions.
Let's see. Utah question: do you think they will remove crystals from Squad Arena and add them to GAC?
Not for a while. No.
I don't see them ever doing it. Squad Arena is the staple for everything. So
Until they really get some stuff worked out, and they're gonna have. Yeah, there's a lot more stuff they need to do.
Yeah.
So.
See him doing it. I can slowly see him doing it.
Okay. I'll get to Walter Arnold's question last. So we'll finish off the ones that I have here. Pudding Tang 2 question: next charity event, can we get Finn to walk around in a pork costume all day?
Oh, he'll do it in a heartbeat. We were thinking about doing the banana one first, though, right?
Well, I was gonna do the banana pickle.
Banana pickle.
Pickle.
There you go, yeah.
Just the pickle,
The
not
pickle,
banana.
not the banana. The pickle,
Just the,
but
yeah. So, but that wasn't gonna be in the park. So this is what I was going to put on Tiltify, just so you guys know. For the 5K, I was going to run the 5K in a Star Trek shirt as a challenge. I actually have the Star Trek shirt on the Amazon wish list. I would run it with the blue Star Trek shirt.
Just put the pork outfit on, man. I already
Yeah,
said
just
it.
do it.
Get it
Well,
over.
okay, so there's no way so I already dressed up like a pork for the half marathon last time. It's not like a pork outfit, but I had the pork beanie and I had the pork colored shirt and the
true.
shorts last time. So I ran with the pork theme, a pork costume. So I won't be able to do the half marathon for sure. I would have to see if there's a costume
Let's
for the
see if we
5K.
can. Yeah, let's do some of this.
Because then I could walk around the park with the Star Trek shirt on the first day that we go after the 5K.
Sure, we can do that. Yeah.
So I can embarrass you guys the entire time while I walk around with the Star Trek shirt, and I can hold a tricorder
Yeah.
and just walk around and try to inspect all the different ones. I wonder if Ray would smack me if I tried to inspect her with a tricorder.
Yeah. She
Might be
probably
worth
would,
it.
And I would hold you while she did.
It might be worth it.
No, she hit you in the balls.
No, that wouldn't be. But that's Disney.
With that stick, yeah, I'd be like, "Oh, Finn, are you puking?"
She wouldn't hit me there.
You-
That's Disney.
Oh no, we'll sneak it in, Finn. Don't worry. I'll be like, "There you go, madam. Do your worst."
I'm open to suggestions. I'll put it that way. I'm
Yeah,
open to
we'll-
suggestions.
we'll-
We're getting ready to add more challenges and rewards on Tiltify, including, I know some of you guys were asking during the stream, the new gold RSG Shoestring
Yeah, we'll have that up
Strong
there.
wristbands for the 2020 campaign.
Absolutely.
We are going to be putting that on Tiltify here soon. So you guys will be able to check that out during the weekend. I'm trying to work on something that I can hopefully get out by Friday. It's going to take a little bit of time. I'm going to try and get it out by Friday as much as I can, but otherwise it'll come on the weekend. And as soon as that's done, then I'll be putting up the stuff on Tiltify for you guys. And then last question, Walter Arnold question. Who else ordered the Darth Vader Sensi thing from Stu's wife? I got mine today and it's awesome. It's way better than I was even expecting.
Yes.
I have to go pick mine up tomorrow. So I'm getting excited. I pick mine up tomorrow. So I can hopefully show it on the lunch stream for you guys. Because, yeah, I saw the pictures and stuff of it, and it looks really cool. But if Walter Arnold is saying that it's even better than what he thought it was going to be, I'm kind of looking forward to picking it up tomorrow. So, all right. There we go.
All right.
Those
That's all
are
the
the
questions.
questions.
All right. Let's wrap it up. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it. The first thing we want to do is we want to shout out our gold VIPs. There we are. Dun, dun, ba, da, 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 da. And then another. We love these guys. Finn, why do we love these guys so much?
Because they support us in crazy amounts, and we appreciate it. We've said this before, and I will say it again. Everything we do, we try to do in the name of the skewer community. And we hope that the stuff we do makes you guys proud to donate to us and support us. The money that you gives us obviously goes towards improving things like our technical stuff, what we use to stream, the software that we use, all of that. We work on improving all of that each and every day. And then as we've gotten more and more support from you guys, we want to put it to good use. And that's when you see events like we did yesterday. Where we can now plan for going to the hospital and having these kind of events together. And it's a learning process for us for sure, but we hope that we're putting all the money that you guys donate to us in good use,
Let's
whether
just
through
be
Super
real.
Chat.
Let's just be real. I want to make it to where we make enough money on YouTube and this to not only take care of the kids, Finn, but I want hookers and blows and porgs and stuff for us in a mansion.
What?
He wants hookers and blows and a mansion and to end pediatric cancer.
Yes. So why can't we have our cake and eat it too?
Because it takes a lot to end pediatric cancer.
I know. We got to fight that fight first. But you notice I said that first, Finn.
Yeah, I know. That's why it's going to take a while before we get the hookers and blow and mansion.
All right, I'll sacrifice that dream.
It's for a good cause.
It is. I'm into the fight. You know that.
So the money that you guys give to us in Patreon and stuff, we're now over $800 that you guys are getting us in Patreon, and it means a lot to us. And we're able to plan so much for that. And these guys really go and help us as gold patrons to do that. So we really appreciate all of you guys for helping us with this, and we hope that you thought that the event and fundraising that we did yesterday was worthwhile, and it made you guys proud to be supporters of us. So thank you to these guys, especially the gold patrons, but to all of our supporters, which is why we do the shout outs at the beginning to all of our patrons, our YouTube subscribers, and our Twitch subscribers, and our YouTube members. We shout all of you guys out for just supporting us in the way that we need in order to be able to do these events. So thank you again to all of our gold VIPs.
All right. And then let me transition here. And if you want to check us out, we got all kinds of live streams. We do the lunch stream Monday through Friday from 12 to 1. We do Ross reviews. I suffer through mild depression. Try to not to choke out Finn. And we answer your questions. We do mini Ross reviews as well during the week. Which you get benefits for being a gold Patreon, or I'm sorry, just Patreon period, and other things of that nature. So check that out. We also do this show every Wednesday, the longest running live show in the community. And then Saturdays, we got the Jedi Academy. We bring the best and the brightest of content creators and game people with knowledge. And then we add me and Finn to destroy all the knowledge, but it's a Q&A show on Saturdays from 10 a.m. Eastern to 12. We also play other games. I'll be doing some Battlefront this week. I'll be doing a lot of Naruto on Friday. Finn, are you got any plans for some Borderlands or anything coming up here? We're gonna get into that Borderlands.
I'm gonna be working on that video first, and then there will be a lot of Borderlands. I can't give you an exact schedule yet because it depends on how long it takes me to make that video.
Okay.
That's all I can say.
Okay. All right. So there's a lot of stuff we're doing. Make sure you hit the thumbs up, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check us out on Twitch and stuff. And with that, we are going to call this one done. So on behalf of myself and the crew, thank you guys for stopping in. We love you. We appreciate it. Thank you for all that you do and all the support you and love you guys show. Have an awesome, awesome night, and we will see you later. Peace out.